Everyone has you projected number one pick in the NFL draft come 2026. Why in the hell are you not playing above a seventh round quarterback?
You got Arch Manning going to the Browns. Arch Manning is the prodigal son of football, not just college football, but all of football. Clearly, his family and that last name has a deep and rich history at all levels of football, from high school going up to the National Football League. And it's starting to make people question, with all the hype and all the ideas and Texas being ranked this and everybody thinking how elite that he's going to be. By the way, I am a Texas fan. Hook 'em horns. How could Arch Manning not beat out a seventh round pick? And Quinn Ewers, now there's a lot of answers for that. There's a lot of reasons for that. But I have to ask the question, is Arch Manning overhyped? Is Arch Manning a future bust? Well, let's get into it. Mr. Aaron Murray, the former Georgia, can I say legend? UGA fans, y'all let me know. Can I say legend? I think Georgia legend. Mr. Aaron Murray had an interesting take on Arch Manning, and I think it kind of sparked a lot of people's opinions. And really what we're starting to see is kind of like with Shedeur Sanders, funny enough. Arch Manning is going to slowly start feeling the pressure of his last name. And because he hasn't been starting, he's just been coming in and out. But now that he's the presumed starter of one of the most popular college football franchises in the world, Hook Horns, things are going to start mounting. Questions are going to start being asked. And let's get right into it. Let's hear how Aaron Murray breaks it down. We got some stats here. Not just of Arch, but we also have some stats of Aaron Murray, because I don't like when y'all get in the comments. Y'all be talking about these people crazy. One of my favorite creators here, he's going to break some things down as well. And then as well as, Arch Manning's family's going to do some things, and then bag work over here. And then we're going to talk about his, he's already being projected as a Cleveland Brown, as a New York Jet. So let's hear from Aaron Murray, then we're going to go further there. All right, let's hear it.
Quinn Ewers had a disappointing season, and it reflected in his draft stock. If you are so good, and everyone has you projected number one pick in the NFL draft come 2026, why in the hell are you not playing above a seventh round quarterback? If Steve Sarkisian knows what he's doing, and he knows how good their roster is, which I've talked to a lot of coaches at a lot of different teams. And I asked them, like, what are the top rosters? Ohio State, Texas, probably Georgia. What it was holding them back? Quinn Ewers. Why was Arch not playing? So, like, that rubs me the wrong way a little bit. And then you watch the tape, and yeah, it looks good at times. I wouldn't say like it looks incredible. It doesn't scream first round talent to me off the back. And I'm not saying he can't get there. And I'm never going to talk bad about a quarterback because I know how difficult it is. I'm cheering for him like I cheer for every quarterback. I want them all to have success. So all in all, Quinn.
What's it called? I think that this is so kind of like I alluded to, right? It's a combination of a few things, right? And I actually made a video, I remember when as Texas was going into the playoffs, because to me, Quinn Ewers was clearly hurt, right? So I want to first address the conversation of Quinn Ewers or Arch Manning not starting over Quinn Ewers. When I was even kind of bringing the question in being like, hey, what do we need to do to let Arch Manning play? He's already had experience. He had experience through the year. We're going to go through his stats too and kind of talk about those starts too. We've seen him play. We know he's capable, right? But at the end of the day, why wasn't he there? And it comes down to not only experience, right, but also the culture that Texas is trying to build. Let me explain, right? We have, another 5-star quarterback right behind Arch Manning. Right, Arch Manning just waited 2-3 years behind another perfect rated. I don't know if y'all remember, but Quinn Ewers was like a perfectly rated a prospect. Obviously, former Ohio State, former Texas Westlake, I believe. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. So it's not simply that Quinn Ewers was holding that roster back, but it's in a way that is kind of unexpected, because a lot of it had to do with him playing through an oblique and also ankle injury. That was very apparent, and I talked about that throughout the season. I was like, yo, he's like playing like he lost some mobility. He's playing like he's just walking in the sacks. And we had that conversation, and obviously it was revealed that he had the ankle injury. And then he goes on to reveal that he had an oblique injury that he was also dealing with the entire year. So I'll say a little bit has to do with he was doing phenomenal things and making phenomenal throws. Like, the Arch Manning, and I talk about it, the Arch Manning experience, not Arch Manning, the Quinn Ewers experience is like it's either he can be the most beautiful timed placement balls with arm and beautiful, the whip on the arm is just gorgeous. And then at the same time, it's these other reads that's just like, yo, why? I think it was a Red River Rivalry 2022, 23. I got it, y'all. I think it was 22 or 23 where Quinn Ewers just comes out and throws back-to-back interceptions. And I say this thing where, like, it was almost like if he doesn't convert a long third down or get a good play, until then he's just going to play like he's lost, right? So it's a lot of, weird goods and bads and highs and lows, but those highs are high. If we can have a running game behind him and not rely on his arm, he can make something happen, okay? So I say all that to say that was Quinn Ewers holding the team back? Yeah, but I don't think Arch Manning, at the time that people were calling for, at the time that it was clear that Quinn, maybe he needs to sit down, I don't think that he was the impact there. And then my guys, he makes a good point too about the locker room, right? And this is also what I was talking about when I'm talking about building that out. And, there's another 5-star behind Arch Manning who just watched Arch Manning, what's it called? Who just had Arch Manning behind him, right? Sorry. I'm sorry. Arch Manning just sat behind a 5-star, right? A 5-star is behind Arch Manning. And I don't know why people thought that he was going to come out in 2026. Y'all must not know who the Mannings are. He's not coming out in 2026. That's I'm not just a delusional Texas fan. I've just been, paying attention to how, Mannings have been talking about, his career, and they want him to have a full college experience. They want him to have a full amount of tape, right? If they want to keep building that almost Alabama-esque, quarterback room, I know it's their running back room, but quarterback version of it, where you just have 5-star and behind 5-star just waiting and ready to plug and play. That's hard to do in this NIL era. They found a way to do it, though, with Arch Manning. Someone who doesn't really care, doesn't really need money, who does want a full college experience, who's not moved by the NFL because he's in no rush, right? So it's a multifaceted thing. Yes, did Arch Manning pull you back? Yes, was Arch Manning the right play? You could argue that, but I don't think you would get such a large benefit for bringing Arch Manning. The offense changes, but again, the experience isn't there. Quinn Ewers has gone through some fires. We have to, again, as much as I am critical of Quinn Ewers, just I'm a Texas fan, he went through some fires. Back-to-back semifinals in college football. He's seen some now. That Michigan defense that he played in the first game, that was no slouches. Okay? So he brings a level of, like I said, when it's great from Quinn. You can't just replace that with a guy who, by all, I know he's not a freshman, or I know he's not a rookie, but it would feel like a rookie being out there. You know what I'm saying? In essence, he's getting out there, even though the teammates love him. I think he's got that. I think he's gotten to have the offense. And then that's my last point, and then we're going to go over to some bag work. The offense, right? Like Steve Sarkisian builds his offenses to his quarterback. Quinn, all the misdirection and big long throws and max protect throw, those took advantage of what Quinn Ewers does best, and that was operator pocket, but using his arm to put balls in places that not many people can, and then helping him gain some separation for his receivers, using a lot of misdirection, using great motion and things like that. That is going to evolve for Arch because of the legs that Arch Manning has. It's gonna look different. I'm telling you, y'all gonna see y'all gonna see a little Vince Young action out there. Y'all, we ain't seen that in a second. We ain't seen that since Sam Ellinger. You know what I'm saying? You gonna see a little Sammy Ellinger in there. You feel me? Maybe a little Colt McCoy. He's a big dog now. Arch Manning is. So let's get to it. And before we go on, because I do want to talk about this, Aaron Murray, again, I think this is legendary for the collegiate football years for UGA. Did he start all? I think he started all since 2010. He started as a freshman. I didn't know Aaron Murray started 3,000 yards in 2010, 3,149 in 2011, 3,893 in 2012, and then you finish off with 3,000 there, and then you have for your touchdowns 24, 35, 36, and then 26 and 9 interceptions there. I think that's pretty legendary. 2011 for Mr. Aaron Murray, number 1 in the SEC in 2012, number 1 in the SEC in 2011, top 10 in the career. for passing touchdowns in the NCAA, number 1 in the career for SEC touchdowns. Wow. And I'm sure those probably have updated, but at the time he was. I think passing yards per completion, he was number 1 in the NCAA in 2012 and SEC in 2012. So, hey, put some respect on Aaron Murray's name now. Let's do that. Let's not go too far out there. And this is what Todd McShay had to say about Arch Manning early on. He said, this guy has it all. His combination of size, mobility, excellent release, and his natural accuracy, it's all there for him to be a great player. He's got the tools, but what does the film say? First off, what do the stats say? Here are Arch Manning's stats. Obviously, 2023 only played 2 games. He had 3 attempts for 7 yards. It was literally just hey, he's out there, whatever. But in 2024, he was a very prominent part of the offense in short yardage situation. You could see how the offense kind of molded and changed for him. My favorite play was at Texas A&M, fourth and short or third and short? Take it around the outside, and I'm getting to the end zone, boy. And hey, when Arch Manning gets to the end zone, he got a little spunk to him. He's got a little moxie. That's what they call it. He's not just little Manning. He's not just little Manning. He's out there, you know what I'm saying, looking like Tom Herman, putting on you feel me? You know what I'm saying? So I love that. I love the energy that he brings at all times. This is him throwing during some of the spring practices, along with Mr. Owens as well. Look, we got some dogs in that QB room now. We got some dogs. Mr. Trey Owens, I believe his name. I might say his name, but whew, you see the way that thing bounces out. Hey, that thing pops out of his hand for 1-6 there. It's looking very clean. It's looking very nice. We're about to get into some game film too. Now, as I say this, woo! Look at that thing. Pop. Ooh, that thing just feathers out there. That was that long ball, if you can't tell, is 1-6 here. Little play action. Hey, man, he just has it feels like heavy and light at the same time when he throws the ball. Maybe I'm doing too much glazing. Maybe I'm just a Texas fan doing too much glazing, but whoa, I'm liking it. It's got me feeling nicey. So let's take you back and let's look at some actual film. This is versus UTSA. Again, we have to preface that the 2 games that he did play, and he did throw some nasty interceptions. Getting back here, the 2 games that he started, or was it 3? Because Mississippi State as well. The 3 games that he really had main action, and remember, he still had 2 interceptions, right? He's still struggling in some ways. He still in a lot of ways looked like a first time starter. And some of that was in UTSA. But when we go to UTSA and check out the film, we can also see his ability to push the ball down the field. And I think that's what's most exciting. Not that Quinn Ewers didn't have an arm, but this is him rolling left, and he goes for it too, right? I think Quinn did a good job of that too. He did too much. But Arch Manning, the fact that, hey, we're just going against UTSA, you're just starting to it felt like when he was playing those games, Mississippi State, UTSA, and I think it was UTEP. I forgot the other. I'm drawing a blank, but we'll get into it. When he was playing those teams, it felt like he wanted to dominate them. It felt like, oh, nah. I'm trying to take the top off, dog. I'm not just here to just, let's just beat a smaller, Texas team, whatever. No. I see one-on-one coverage. Oh yeah, I'm about to beam this thing rolling left. How about it? How about I put this thing on a flying saucer up there? Go up and get it, son. How about you just go up and get it? Let's see it from this side. He's going to go hit 9 on that, on that fake. Look at the boot. And again, the boot for him is going to add so much value. Steve Sarkisian loves boots because it adds to the misdirection. You got Jonte Cook, a Dragon, and Trey Wingo, the true freshman, the track star, goes up and just gets that thing. Obviously, I would love to see it a little more, give him some space there. But again, it's more the fact that he just, he sees it. He sees it right now when he has his space. He doesn't wait to then let him get open. Oh, no. He's got it. I would like that throw to be a little more out there. But other than that, you give your guy a chance. And I think this is, so this is him rolling right again. Again, the ability, the way that he threatens defenses with his legs is going to be important. And the throwing on the move is just, he's so confident throwing on the move. That is what I like. When you watch Quinn Ewers throwing the move, it was a laboring process. For him, he's like, he wants to be off platform. He's got such a good, I'm not sure if you say, I guess it's technically not the base, but the way that he can square his shoulders no matter where his base is, I think it's something that's underrated. He might not be deemed at Mississippi State. He might not be deemed as someone who is, a modern quarterback. But for somebody who was, coming from the lineage of Eli and, Peyton Manning, he is not the regular quarterback. He gets out there and moves, right? Like Steve Sarkisian is trying to get him on the move, not only to put some of these defenders in conflict where, hey, we don't even have to block this in. Hey, we're just not going to block this guy. We're not going to block this guy at all because his legs are going to do the blocking. I'm just going to run around him, SEC defender, and make some magic happen here. Here we go against UTSA. Again, lots of play action. And then this is where this boy slipped on a banana peel, dog. He that first off, how excited was Arch Manning? He didn't even he pulled that thing so early. He said, man, this is mine. Fakes it to Wisner. I'm out of there. That boy slipping on a banana peel. And, Wait. Let this play. Let the beat build. Man, what y'all talking about, dog? What y'all talking about? What's the conversation? I'm out of here. I'm gone. So, do we see some positives from Arch Manning? Yes, we do, but we have to acknowledge that he did throw some interceptions there. We have to acknowledge that some of those balls could be better placed. We have to acknowledge that the kid's a bit of a gunslinger at heart, and that could wind Texas up into some peculiar situations. But for him to already be looked at as a future bust without even getting a chance to really get out there, really have an offense underneath him and really start going, again, it's going to be 2 years. I hope y'all know. It's not just going to be one. So he even though we go over here to these mock drafts and we got Garrett Nussmeier going number 1 overall, I have a hot take about Garrett Nussmeier. I don't think he's that great. I got to be honest with you. I'm just saying. Then you got Caden Proctor out of Alabama going number 2, Ruben Bryan out of Miami, and then you have Arch Manning here at the Jets. And then on this mock draft, even higher, you got Arch Manning going to the Browns. Is it perfect timing for Arch Manning to take over the Browns? Y'all let me know down below. Is Arch Manning going to be a bust from what you've seen? Is Aaron Murray right? Is he wrong? I'm just excited for the football season, man. I don't think we can fail. Texas fans, we're officially back. Sam Ehlinger, hey, you cursed us, so we got to embrace it. We're back, I guess. Back-to-back semifinals, but we got to make some magic happen. Let's go ahead and win us the SEC championship. I think Arch Manning has the tool set to be able to do that. I think there's going to be some growing pains. I think there's going to be some interceptions. I think he's going to, really risk some things. But as long as he stays comfortable, stays calm, stays collective, I think it's going to be a fun one, man. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about Texas, how y'all feel about Arch Manning. Do you want your NFL team to get Arch Manning? You know what I'm saying? Do you think Texas is going to be a dud? Do you think Arch Manning is that guy? Leave a like on this video if you like it. Dislike it if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy football content of all shapes and sizes. Cannot appreciate y'all rocking with me and supporting me this much, man. But you're great. Keep being great. We'll see you next time, baby.